Welcome back, everybody. It's the Candy Camper, and I got special guest today, Tones TV. What up, dude?
What's going on, baby? How you feeling?
Nothing much. So I know it's been out for a couple days already, or a couple weeks now, but we got Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. It's a new series on Disney Plus. It's a animation, kind of a different type of animation that we're used to. Has a little bit different style than normal Spider-Man. So I kind of wanted to get into a couple episodes that we've seen. I'm gonna kick it over to you, actually.
Well, yeah. So the one thing I wanted to talk about is the animation part you were just speaking about. I like it. I think it's a great animation. It gives you that comic book feel. Some scenes that they shoot, they cut it off halfway as if you're reading a comic book as they're doing it. I think that's very clever. The first episode, it surprised me a little bit. We'll get into that in just a minute. But as far as the animation, to me, it was something I wasn't expecting at first. I was expecting more of like an anime kind of, but this is Marvel animation. It might be their first production for the animation side of Marvel, because they have the of course the live action stuff, but Marvel Animation has its own company now. It's not company as in different from Marvel, but it's its own side of Marvel now. And I don't know if those or some of those are necessarily canon to the storyline we know of when it comes to Marvel. But as far as the animation side, I believe this is one of their first projects, and I'm liking it so far. It looks good.
Yeah, a lot of people are liking it. Rotten Tomatoes gave it like a 96 or a 97, which is pretty good. But it's also Rotten Tomatoes, so who the fuck really knows? So now speaking of like the first episode, we're gonna jump right into it because I don't want to make this too long. But for everybody out there, this is all a spoiler alert, so get over it, skip me, whatever.
If you haven't seen the first episode, come back to this video
after. There you go. That's probably the better thing to say. Anyways, how the fuck are you gonna start this story with Peter Parker getting bit by a spider and not really get bit by a spider? Like
I don't understand.
What happened?
I don't understand. I mean, hopefully they'll tell us later on down the line of what the fuck the spider was, where it came from, which universe it came from. But what's the whole point of my issue with this was what is the point of giving us an origin story if you're not going to do the whole origin story? It almost
so weird.
It almost looked like they were going to start it, but he opened his backpack up, and instead of his suit, it was his sandwich that his mom made him. And then next time he opened it, of course we saw him get bit, but next time he opened it, he's already Spider-Man. He has his suits, he has his web slingers.
Learn how to web. And so my thing was either open it up like you said and just pull the suit out, and then you see him just flying off, and we're cool. I would have been fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
And not, my God, for y'all that haven't seen it or need to see it, like the spider comes and it just bites him, and he's like, "Oh shit, my back, my dog," and that was it. Literally, it wakes
and
up.
And then
the
next scene,
Spider-Man.
the next scene, he opens up his backpack and he has a suit in his backpack, and he just starts slinging away because he forgot the train. He missed the train again.
I wonder if there's a certain amount of episodes that they were allowed to only like to have, so they had to cut that out because that would have been an episode within its own.
Within itself, yeah. But that's the thing, though. If they did have to cut some episodes out, started off him as Superman already. I mean, obviously we know the origin story when it comes to Superman. Him getting bit by a spider, then him becoming. I mean, Spider-Man. I got Superman on my mind. But we all know the origin story of him getting.
Yeah, they know.
But yeah, I mean, we know the origin story. He gets bit, it becomes Spider-Man. Like, yeah, I don't know if they were a way they were gonna go, and then they were like, okay, let's just play this, and then start it off like I get what they were doing with it, but I don't think it hit well for me because I wasn't a fan of them just biting, and the next scene he's Superman or Spider-Man. Fuck.
Oh my God. So let me ask you this question. It's like, why is this different than everything else we've already seen? There's like 30 different iterations of Spider-Man animations or cartoons. Why is this different?
It's different because it looks like what's her name? What's his girlfriend's name?
Mary Jane.
Mary Jane's not in this series at all
so far.
So far, correct. He's in school. Um, but it's more of like,
calls her May, by the way, instead of Aunt May the whole
yeah,
time. It
instead of
pisses
Aunt
me
May.
off.
Yep.
It's
His
intentional for some reason. I don't know why. Like they emphasize May every single time.
yeah, and Uncle Ben is already dead in the show. He already
Yep.
died. But it's different because it's an animation version of it. It's not Into the Spider-Verse. It's not any of those different animations to it. I kind of see where they're going with it because I've seen a little bit more than episode 2. But as far as the storyline, it's getting kind of like well, let's talk about the first 2 episodes.
Okay.
So,
So first
uh,
episode, you see Doctor Strange fighting an alien. What
yes,
was your
I
thoughts when
thought
you saw Doctor Strange?
I thought that was cool. The
Wasn't it
you know,
badass? Like the
yeah,
whole fucking thing was so good.
yep.
It was
And
funny.
the thing that confused me though, Spider-Man or Peter Parker didn't know who he was.
Yes.
He had no idea who Doctor Strange was because he said, "Oh, this magician guy" or whatever he said. He was like
Yeah.
confused
Yeah.
on, but
Well, Doctor Strange didn't know where the fuck he was either.
mhm. So
Because he just was chasing. He just came through.
yeah, so I'm kind of confused on that part. Um, the the school that he's at, it looks like it's a very good school that he's at. And then
Yeah.
what? Remind me, remind me where episode 1 ends again. I've been like I said, I've been watching more
With
than episode 1.
I, my days blended, so I can't remember 1 and 2 were the same. But
Yes.
with Osborn, right? I know Oscorp.
Okay.
Like he's getting, or is
So
that the
yes,
second one
yes, yes. I think that was number 2. I think that was number
where he
2.
gets invited in, right?
Was it?
That's
Anyway,
so
anyway.
y'all that yeah, if y'all watch this, you'll understand. Like they continue the story very well. If and there's kind of short episodes too. So I don't know. They
Yeah.
kind of blended. I
The
watched
one
it
little
back to back.
caveat I thought, the one little thing I thought was pretty neat was the Iron Man swinging from his mom's
Yeah,
car. I
yeah,
thought
that
that
was
was
so
cool.
cool.
And they mentioned the
Yeah,
Avengers within that's another thing that confuses me. They mentioned the
yep,
Avengers in episodes 1 or 2, but Spider-Man isn't in the Avengers that we know of because
correct.
he hasn't shown us any of the Avengers. He hasn't been a part of the Avengers, and it looks like good.
But Norman Osborn is like an of like an inverted like Tony Stark.
Hmm.
By the, like it's that's the part that's confusing me because Osborn seemed he didn't have that weird like style like he did in the movies. He had this like I don't know. He just like kind of ran everything. It was just fucking weird. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, it was just like I'm just confused on what storyline we're watching. Like
Yeah.
we've said in previous episodes about talking about Marvel, is we haven't read the comics. So we're strictly thinking about the Spider-Man that we know of within these movies and these
Mhm.
shows that we get.
And there's a point
So
where you're going real quick. And the thing is that alien I mentioned earlier, that was a symbiote. It looked like a Venom.
yeah, it looked like Venom, correct? Yes, it
Yeah.
did.
So where the fuck is that? And then not only that, the Doctor Strange we saw in the show was an MCU, like MCU Doctor Strange.
Hmm.
So sorry, keep going. I know I'm cutting you off, but
No, you're good.
you're refreshing my brain as you
No,
go.
and so it looks like in episode 2 and 1 that he has a different crush that we see that he has other than Mary Jane. You know what I'm saying? So we're seeing a lot of differences within this TV show or within this
Yeah.
animation. But the thing is, I don't know which timeline we're in. That's the only confusion that I'm at right now.
Yeah.
Um, the one in episode 1 was the one thing that I disliked about the show was the rushing of him just becoming Spider-Man before we got to see him like develop his powers, because in all the Spider-Mans that we've seen him develop powers, that was probably the best scenes that I've seen in the Spider-Mans is
Yeah.
him, because we're an origin, I'm an origin story kind of person. I love the origin story.
Lonnie Lincoln.
Who's that?
Remember the football player that remember he liked
Yeah,
the
yeah,
girl Pearl?
yeah, Pearl,
That's
yeah.
the first, yeah, then he went to tutor him and thought this guy was badass. By the way, Pearl is Wave for people that didn't know that. So
Is what?
that's is gonna be Wave. She's a superhero.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are my only, like, I guess,
And
concerns, or
Lincoln's also gonna be Tombstone. I don't want to spoil it, but he's gonna get into some shit later.
you kind of just spoil
Spoiled
it.
it.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyways,
But Peter's still finding out how to use his powers. He
yeah.
stops a car, saves the people on the bus. He becomes friends with Lonnie. um a whole bunch of stuff is happening that I'm interested in, but there's some things that I'm not liking as far as the storyline. I think it's maybe a little too slow,
Mhm.
or they're just confusing me a little bit, and that could be just because I haven't watched the or read the comics.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that you're wrong. I think that they're trying to do too much in a little amount of time. And I think the ambition is very big. Like they want to invent something new that's already been created, and they're trying to add all these different characters into it, but not giving enough backstory behind them. So it kind of leaves us on a cliffhanger. And then I started to feel like it's not just about Spider-Man sometimes.
Mhm.
Like there's these little side notes of things, and it just gets a little messy and muddy.
Yeah.
But I will say I do like it so far. I actually really enjoyed it to the point where I told you to, hey, I want you to go see this. And by any means, it's not something that I'm going to tell you to like put everything down and drop your pencils and pens and go watch this. But it's good enough to watch. Like if you need something to watch, go throw it on.
Yeah,
Not my favorite show
absolutely.
though.
Absolutely. Not mine either. And there was one thing I wanted to bring up. Um, the whole Oscorp thing as a freshman in high school.
Weird.
Yeah, a little weird, but I'm sorry. That is kind of weird. But the one thing I wanted to bring up is we have three different Spider-Mans now. Three different Spider-Man movie or TV show on the air right now. Well, maybe not
Mhm.
right this second, but we have Peter Parker, Tom Holland, we have Into the Spider-Verse, and we have this series. Now, do you think it's Spider-Man's being oversaturated now? What's your opinion on that?
Well, I mean, we also got Miles Morales, and we have the kids show too. Spidey and Friends, which is amazing. So I don't know if anyone doesn't watch Spidey and Friends. Not that I watch it like that. It is
Mhm.
so good.
He was telling me
Teaches
last
you a lot
week
of
about
lessons.
a couple episodes.
It's really good. But no, I think that I mean it's Spider-Man, dude. Spider-Man is one of the most saturated characters out of all Marvel. You go anywhere and it's Spider-Man this, Spider-Man that, and then you start getting into like Wolverine. Wolverine's also saturated too.
Not
Um,
really
like
though,
that,
bro. Not
but
compared to
so no,
Spider-Man.
no, no, you're right. Not compared to mine. So I would say if you're to put superheroes into that oversaturated like bowl, it's gonna be Spider-Man, Batman,
And Superman.
and even Superman's still kind of like like a 1.5 tier to me. I
Well,
put
no, I'm
Superman
saying
with
as
the
far as
Wolverine.
saturation, there's a lot
Oh
of
yeah,
different,
yeah.
like, as
But
far
I'm
as
saying if you go
saturation,
to a
Superman is up
store,
there.
if you go to a store and you're looking around, the Hulk. The Hulk is like he was there for a minute too,
Yeah.
and Iron Man. But I mean, you got to remember those people are like they're legacy characters. So going back to your question, yes, I do. I do think it's been pushed out quite a bit. There's a lot of Spider-Man, and that's why I think this is kind of muddy and confusing because you're gonna watch this and go somewhere else, and you're gonna be like, what the fuck's the real story?
Eh,
This is a Kevin Feige though, so well, he's producing something. He does something here.
well, he's just a part of the project because it's Marvel, and
Yeah.
he's. But so, I keep bringing this up. The not knowing or not seeing him get his powers. Another thing we didn't get to see is him getting his web slingers. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
that's all, it's not natural like it was for Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It's actually a canister that he uses, and the tubes that he uses. That's actually what he's doing.
Yep.
And we didn't get to see who gave it to him, how he developed it, any of that shit.
Yep. He
And
just had it.
his suit. He just made his suit, and he was already Spider-Man. Like, it just those are the things that piss me off. But like I said, it's still a good show so far. It's not
Mhm.
great. There's a couple things that I'm not enjoying, but not
What would you rate it so far from all the episodes you've seen? Or
bad.
1 to 2?
About a 7. Give it about a
Okay.
7. It's you could see the potential this series has, and people will like it because it's, it reminds you. Have you ever seen that show Archer?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
it
Okay.
reminds me of that kind of animation of like,
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
and by the way, never seen it, never seen Archer. I just know the animation for it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
For everybody that wants to grill him down in the comments below because he hadn't seen Archer, please do. Archer's amazing. I love Archer. Great
And I
show.
love the friendship between Peter Parker and Lenny. Is that his name? The football player?
Yeah, I think so. I can't remember now.
Yeah, Lonnie. There
Lonnie.
you go.
Lonnie.
Yeah, Lonnie. I like the friendship that they have too, that they're developing. But
yeah,
those are my thoughts. Those are
You'll
my
see.
thoughts on
You'll see what
episodes
happens
1 and 2.
All right. So I agree with you. I'll give it a 7 myself for now, and I gotta see more of it. I don't know if this will get a second season. That's my only thing, though. I feel like it just kind of might be a one and done thing.
That's kind of tough. If it
Yeah.
is, that's tough.
Yeah, but I think like they will do it because it's money making. But I don't think that it's gonna be the second season will be good enough. It's just kind of we've been seeing it. That's the thing. So it's just basic Spider-Man with a couple of twists and muddiness.
Absolutely.
Yeah, cool. All right, Tones, if you want to tell them where they can find you.
Yeah, guys, find me at Tones_TV on TikTok, Twitter, or X. Go to my YouTube channel, Bat Dot Studio. We do a bunch of movies, TV show, movie breakdown, trailer breakdowns on my YouTube channel. And then go to our podcast, Bat Dots Podcast. We've been doing one every Monday. We've been doing game nights as well. So make sure you guys go check it out.
Cool. Yep. And you guys can find me right here on YouTube, TheCandidCamperr, or over on IG and over on TikTok. Same thing, TheCandidCamperr. Check us out on Bat Dots Podcast. And I'll leave all the links for Tones down below. Also, don't forget to go and follow, like, and subscribe our other members too, X-Raw TV and Zach. That's just Zach, right?
Zach
yeah, Zach Rose. I don't know if he has anything. Anyways, go follow him. Go find him. We'll be here. I love you guys. Peace.